on this topic of WWE releases, and again, we've seen a lot over the last several months, a lot of people who were mid-card or even below, but main eventers. Braun Strowman was a main eventer. Bray Wyatt, main eventer, who by every metric that Vince McMahon measures success, was a big success. He moved a lot of merch. And he got released. So on that topic, and of course, Bronson Reed, someone you champion, someone who a lot of us see and say, wow, a lot that could be done with this guy. He's fresh. They let him go. This question was sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from James in the UK. After more releases from WWE, is anybody's job safe? If yes, who does Jim think is too valuable to release? And of course, he references here the release of Bronson Reed, Bobby Fish, and Mercedes Martinez, just to name a few. But the idea of people in the locker room are now seeing people that aren't being used well, people in developmental, people who are main eventers making 7 figures being released. Should anyone feel comfortable, and is anyone's job safe?
Well, there's nobody's job is safe whenever you can be let go for any or no reason. Having said that, I don't know what Roman Reigns' contract is. Does he still have the 90-day windows where they can say, well, it's not working out. It's not you, it's us, but you're gone. Heyman is a close confidant. I would think Reigns is probably protected. They're not going to release Randy Orton. He's closer to retiring than he is to going to another company. And besides, he's the one that runs everybody off by belittling and belaboring them instead of they're not going to release certain people, especially the main event guys that are figured in right now. But having said that, here's the thing. Would they have released Bray Wyatt 3 years ago before they set him on fire and burned him to ashes in the middle of the ring and done everything else they can done with him? Probably not. It's not we've said this before. At some point, everybody needs to go somewhere else. How can I miss you if you won't go away? They have probably said, you know what? I can see even Vince saying, well, God damn it, pal. What the fuck? We've boxed ourselves into a corner now. We let creative do this, and now they've set him on fire. What else are we going to do with this guy? We've burned him alive, set him on fire, all the supernatural shit. It needs a rest. Maybe they figure, okay, Bray Wyatt, if he wants to go take the billionaire's money over on the other channel, he can do that. Or if he's made good money, he might want to do something part-time, go to Japan or whatever. And maybe they're saying, well, we'll bring you back in 2 years. How long does it take to get over being burned alive on public television? Nobody can stay forever. They got tired of Hogan. They got familiar with Flair. Everybody gets complacent. Lawler used to say this all the time, in Memphis. He would say, goddamn, the thing we hear all the time is, can't you guys get some new wrestlers? We want to see some new wrestlers. When they bring the new wrestlers in, nobody knows who they are. They go, well, fuck, where's all the guys we know who the fuck they are? But everybody gets old, and everybody needs a new place to wrestle, a new gimmick, some time away, a coat of paint, a rest, whatever the fuck. Nobody's going to stay in one company forever. That's another reason why that wrestling was, except at the very top level, was not supposed to be national. When you had your nationally known wrestling stars, the 10 or 20 guys that could go anywhere around the country and wrestling fans would know who they were, you didn't see them all the time. You just knew who they were. Otherwise, every territory had different talent. Guys would come and go. And when you had a favorite wrestler and he left the area, you'd wait. You'd wait like a fucking puppy dog on the sidewalk outside the store for its owner to come back. 2, 3 years, whatever it took. And oh shit, so-and-so's back. And then he'd be all over again. Now everybody's on TV that means anything until they're past the point of people being tired of them, and then they release them. Well, now they're starting to release people before people are really tired of them, but maybe the company is. Maybe he said, well, they've made a lot of money in merchandise, but what are they going to do over the next 2 years versus what I'm paying them? Is there anything left in this gimmick? couldn't we fucking let this guy go and bring something new in and bring this guy back later if he so chooses to? It's a modern thing where wrestlers believe they're going to stay with the same company for years and years and years and years. Again, in the territory days, a lot of the preliminary guys made their careers working different territories for 3 months at a time. Can you imagine that? Every 12 weeks, okay, we gave you your 2 weeks notice, but we got you booked in Kansas City. Okay, I'll go to Kansas City for 12 weeks. Top guys stayed, depending on the size of the territory. In Memphis, it was the baby faces that homesteaded because Lawler was integral. Most of the time he was a babyface, even when he was a heel, but a lot of the babyfaces would homestead. And once you got over as a babyface in Tennessee, you would stay over. So they would feed the heels in and out to the babyfaces. In other territories, it'd be different. You might have your one local hero, but Ray Stevens was the top guy in San Francisco when he was a heel for the first 5 years. And they would feed babyfaces to him. Your top guys stayed. It had been a remarkable run. Probably only in the Carolinas, only working for Crockett, would guys stay in those days 2 and 3 years at a time because the territory was so big and ran so many shows. But so, that's the problem with only having one major company, one upstart company, and a bunch of, keep you busy companies. Is that, unfortunately, everybody needs to go somewhere, but most of those places don't pay very well. And some of them have very questionable talent-picking talents. If that helps anybody.
Well, a lot of people may look at some of the names that were released, and quite frankly, if you talk to some of the talent may tell you that they think the executives there maybe nuts.
Nuts!
Right now, they don't realize that on this show, that's actually a compliment, not an insult.
That's a compliment because when we say you're nuts, then of course the first thing that pops into your mind, ladies and gentlemen, is nuts.com, the best kept secret of Snavvy Snackers. I can't ever.
Snavvy Snackers again?
Snavvy Snackers again. Savvy Snackers. It's the best kept secret of savvy snackers across the country. That's like Stacy can't say Cracker Barrel. She says Crackle Bearer. Anyway, folks, nuts.com. I've told stories about some issues I've had in the past with other food delivery places. Well, they're all held to the standard of nuts.com. I mean, they are knocking on your door to hand you your nuts moments after you have ordered them. It's definitely the next day at the latest. It's your one-stop online pantry shop. They've got high-quality, delicious snacks like white chocolate toffee cashews, bourbon pecans, crystallized ginger, honey sesame sticks.
Yes!
Yes, honey, sweetie, baby, candies, dried fruits, pantry items like baking mixes, pasta, and more. Nutritious, delicious, healthy nuts, dried fruit, flowers, grains, raw, organic, roasted, salted, and candied nuts, even chocolate dipped. They're handmade. Each one of them is kissed by a 96-year-old grandmother before they're even wrapped up.
That's not true. No one touches or kisses any of the fine foods that you get. Some
nonagenarian should be blessing each one of these things with love personally as it goes out of the factory. That's the impression I get.
A blessing is okay. Yes, I agree.
And kiss it on the cheek.
No, that's germs. We can't.
All right. They've got items for smoothies, rolled oats, beans, and but what about beans? Beans are good for your heart, folks. The more you eat, the more you feel better in the morning. Gluten-free and vegan options. Delivery is fast. Orders shipped the same day. It's fresher than the supermarket. Let me tell you what to do, because already I've got your taste buds salivating. What you've got to do is you've got to text the word experience. Even though this is the drive-thru, we're going to go with this. We're going to text the word experience. I assume you know how to spell it. If you don't, Google it. Experience to 64,000. New nuts.com customers get free shipping on your first order when you text experience to 64,000. That's 64 and 3 zeros. It's a popular number. The key word here is experience. I'll tell you what, these nuts will make you nuts. You'll go nuts over nuts.com. Terms apply. Available at nuts.com/terms.
We've said it before, big fans of nuts.com here in this house. Here in the Northeast, in North Jersey, next day delivery. You order something at night, gets here the next day.
Well, no, it's here too in Kentucky. I don't know where they come from. They may be, down the street from us or whatever, but it's amazing.
They have various plants throughout the country, but I was going to say what I've recently fallen in love with, despite you unfairly maligning it in the past here on the show, they have a wonderful selection of granola. They have the best granola.
Well, I was also maligning it when you were making your own granola at home.
A, there's nothing wrong with that. B, it was delicious. C, don't do that. Buy your granola from nuts.com.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not selling you my granola.
Do you have a health license with the health department to make your own foodstuffs?
I don't, but I probably have Len Rossi's in my file somewhere over here.
Well, that might work. Len Rossi would, if he was still here with us, would recommend, I'm sure, nuts.com.